Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Herd App Media Network.
Hi, our Monday Live friends. Pat and JT, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you're just listening to the audio, we're doing this live every Monday and Friday on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter.
Yes. This weekend, I'm not, I know there was a lot going on this weekend, just like a social life. I mean, obviously you were probably involved in this too, because the prom pictures were everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, we've got some hot takes on prom.
Yeah. What's up?
Well, yeah. Sophia's prom. She's a junior, first prom. So she was freaked out, excited about it. And it went great. They had a great time. She won a lot of cool stuff at post prom. Like it was a good evening. So windy. So there weren't any pictures outside. So we had to go to Regency.
I think you should have just the same for prosperity.
Right. Isn't that a bit funny? Oh man. Oh man. Yep. I mean, just walking into Regency where they ended up taking the pictures, the hairs were, it was everywhere. I saw something. They said that right as of, was it yesterday or Saturday, that we had a record number of 45-mile-an-hour plus days for the state. Jeez. I think it was. Yeah. It's so freaking windy.
It's
nutty.
Crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, we went to Regency. I don't know if it's called Fashion Court anymore, but that's what always pops in my head. I didn't know, and I know their little center area of the mall, the pond and everything is really cool. I didn't know, that's not my stomping grounds, obviously, that when you go past like Borsheim's, there's like a hallway and there's another entrance, whatever, that has waterfalls and plants. I had no idea that was there. No clue.
Oh, well, see, sometimes you just gotta go one more block and turn left. You never know.
Because we're following all the kids, and there weren't just kids there were other proms going on too, and there was a ton of kids there taking pictures. And we're done like taking pictures out in the front by the little lake or whatever, or the pond, and then everybody's walking back toward that hall. I'm like, does everybody have to pee or something? It looks like a go to the bathroom. Like the bathrooms, it's a hallway. I don't know. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they had fun, but there were a couple pictures that. There's one picture. Anyway, I'll throw it up here right now. It's a picture of Beth and Sophia, and it's there in the little fashion thing, and they both look amazingly beautiful. Sophia looks like she's 25 years old. It's unbelievable. And then I didn't even notice this, but if you look in the background, there is a creepy guy holding a bag with cat heads on it. Boink, there he is, taking a picture of them taking a picture. That's me in the background, and I'm holding a pink bag with cat heads and the camera up in front of my face. Yeah.
Oh my God. Cat.
But I was taking a picture of them, and then they on their picture.
Why do you have a bag with cat heads on it?
That was the rescue bag in case any girls needed makeup, band-aids, whatever. I don't know what was in it. That's just handed it to me. So it was like the rescue bag of goods.
And I'm sorry, but any guy that's taking pictures.
Oh, total pedo right there. I mean, it looks like an absolute creeper.
Not with a camera, just with his phone. With his phone, just taking pictures. Yeah. At least you weren't like trying to act like you weren't taking pictures.
Oh, right. That would have been super creepy. I'm like behind the little pole, sneaking around.
Sneaking out.
I do have to say, everybody looked beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, girls, everybody looked beautiful. But the dresses are just like, there was a girl that was there, I think with her father, like getting ready for pictures.
Yeah.
Standing there, and she had to have her hand down in a certain spot. Otherwise, you could have seen her underpants. It was like
because of the slit in her dress, or was
my gosh,
cutouts?
It's like she had it on backwards. Like, are you serious? And if that was my daughter and I'm standing next to her at Regency, I would have been mortified.
Yeah.
Mortified.
Oh my God. Yeah. So different. Different. But
my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw there were some great pictures though this weekend. It was neat. It was neat to see. So, and some of them, I think some of them even go so far as to try and coordinate. I remember going to prom. It was just about, just finding a dress and just hoped he showed up with his shirt tucked in.
Yeah.
It was just like,
yeah.
Colors wasn't even a consideration of trying to coordinate ties with dresses or anything like that, but you see that a lot, which is cool. That's cool. And yeah, and the post prom stuff. Yeah, a lot of moms posting about Okay, it was all worth it because they were bitching last week. They were they were so like up to here with dealing with this crap and trying to get everything coordinated and get everything ready, and then it all worked. And
Yeah.
so
And it always does. There's always stuff that falls through the cracks, but it's always fun and they have a good time and get home at 4:45 in the morning and then sleep all day and super crabby with
heck
everything.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right. That's good. Now, speaking of the weekend too, one thing I was watching, I know a lot of people were, is Nebraska's weather. While we were dealing with the wind, the West was dealing with the wind, but then they threw in fire and blizzards.
Yeah.
And it was some of those pictures that came out of the southwestern part of the state. And I know we heard from our buddy Les Vogler, who has the Bullpen podcast, and a couple of towns were evacuated, if you can imagine that feeling. And some ranches, there were some loss. There was some loss, definitely, of not only buildings but a couple homes. And then the blizzard
I mean, what? Yeah.
that hit, and the ones in the fires are wishing they had a blizzard, and the ones in the blizzard are calving. They're in calving season, and it's like, God, it's just awful, awful. But that's where that post about the 45 mile an hour degree or 45 mile an hour days for wind. That's a record we don't need to be setting. I'm just
no.
And then locally, we had our firefighters get a huge workout, and I don't even know how many different houses helped or participated, but that fire that was in the new development that's not too far from my house, it's south of me a ways, but 144th just west of Pacific, or north of Pacific just west of 144th, but that whole new development area in that apartment building had caught fire. Over 100 firefighters during that 10 plus hour battle. And I saw them at noon yesterday, and they said, I think somebody said that it was under control at 10:30 or 11, but they were still putting water on it like crazy. There were 2 trucks.
It was when I got up and I was turned on channel 7 on was it Saturday morning or Sunday morning?
Sunday morning.
And they were showing their camera, whatever, on top of TD Ameritrade, and you could see the flames from there and lights. It was I'm sure that probably woke you up. Everything going nuts at 1 a.m.
It was about, I think, about 1:30 when our was going on in my house. Because Jack loves sirens.
Yeah. And at 1:30 in the morning, I'm sure you really love sirens.
And it's like, whoa, there's a lot of sirens. And then we figured out what was going on. But then, and it was sad is that I'd heard, I haven't seen it myself, but a couple of people had posted about some people had started moving in. So they weren't in there, but some of their stuff maybe was moved in. But they're not even completed. Obviously.
Do they know what started it yet, or is it just too early?
I hadn't seen anything. They may. I just hadn't seen it yet. So, but much like the house in Ashland that caught fire, the Beedison house, which is a historical monument, and that family is still waiting to find out what happened, how that started, if there were accelerants involved, or what could have happened, because there wasn't even electricity to that house. So,
insurance fraud.
So whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so waiting on that. Other things that came over this weekend. I know we talked to our girl Danielle on Friday, Innocent Till Tipsy, talking about Johnny Depp, Amber Heard trial, and more stuff coming out this weekend. There was a time when she had posted some pictures of herself claiming that she had just been accosted and had a bloody nose, and there was bruising under her eye. It was severe, right? And the next day there was none. And a lot of people had claimed that she'd used makeup to create that effect. And she claimed that she used makeup to cover it up. And I didn't catch this part. And I know, did Danielle talk about this part at the beginning of the trial? When a lawyer addressed it?
Yeah, she talked about, she did talk a little bit about it. Not too in depth, but a little bit. Yeah.
Because there was a time, I guess, where in the beginning of it, the lawyer had held up what they called the Milani Cosmetics all-in-one correcting kit, which is what she used to camouflage those bruises during her relationship. Well, the company has come forward and responded to the claim with their own TikTok.
This is my favorite. It seriously is my favorite.
And it literally showed when this was first released, and it was much after when these pictures were taken.
Oh,
It didn't even exist at that time. And so, and the company is like, okay, we're out of this.
right.
We're not part of this, and we're not going to play this game. We didn't even have this product when those pictures were taken. So wasn't us.
And that is a huge swing and a miss for the, I don't know if it's defense, whatever it is, for on her team that they didn't, all they had to do was Google it. Just 1 5-minute Google and you would have found out whether it existed or not.
You have to think with knowing this was going to be publicized. They knew this going in, that there was going to be cameras all over the place and people were going to want to know things. And they knew about the following that they both had, right? So maybe reach out to the cosmetic company to corroborate that evidence and even make it better by having somebody from the cosmetic. Yeah, that's our stuff. And that's what it, yep. It's that good. Yeah. It did this. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Huge problem for them.
Huge miss. So I can't wait to see what Danielle and the gang has about that. Cause that was quite the week last week with Johnny Depp on the stand. Is he supposed to still be on this week?
Yeah, he is. I don't know for how long, but at least today. Yeah. And she's out there and hopefully jumping on with us in a couple days to give us another update. And then also her and her co-host Max are going to CrimeCon this weekend in Las Vegas, which is huge. To think that this show, Innocent Till Tipsy, has been around since October. Just since October. Danielle's had a TikTok for 2 years. The show's been around since October. And we had talked to her about it before too, about how the fact that she got started on TikTok because of Johnny Depp, talking about Johnny Depp. And then she flips over 1 million subscribers on TikTok while she's in the courtroom. Johnny Depp is testifying in the courtroom. And then flash forward to this coming weekend at one of the biggest true crime conventions in the world, CrimeCon in Vegas. They're going to be
now. Are they going to have, they're going to have a booth out there? Or are they just visiting, or what are they going to do? They're just going to go and,
since it's such last minute, I don't know if there's booth availability, but they're just going to go
have something going on or do their podcast out there or maybe something.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, it is. It's really cool. But yeah, you're right. I mean, she got onto TikTok because of Johnny Depp. And that was just, it was like her place to go rant. It's like somebody who wants to write a blog and they just hit publish. It's like, go out there, see what happens. And all these people were drawn into it, and then they've turned it into their crime podcast, which has done fantastic. So it is. Yes. And Nikki just jumped on too about the Milani Cosmetics. Yes. Huge miss. Thank you, Nikki. Right. Damn it.
And watching this weekend, I don't know if this was a new one or an old one, but like a Dateline, I believe. And it was with that woman that faked her kidnapping. I can't remember her name. And then faked her kidnapping and then came back, said it was 2 Hispanic ladies, came back. And now her husband just filed for divorce last week. Blonde.
That.
She was jogging. Yeah. And where she faked her kidnapping and all this stuff and came back with all these bruises and everything and a brand. And she did it all to herself, and they went through everything on how she did it. And she was actually with her an ex boyfriend or whatever for 2 weeks. And to think about somebody going to that place in their head, and just much like Amber Heard, allegedly whatever happened, she's making all this stuff up allegedly.
Yeah.
It's like, what, that's sad. It's sad and scary that their minds go to that place where there are other way more easier options in things.
They like convinced they can double down. And if I just say it louder and more often, you will believe me. And it's like, no, you can keep saying it louder and more often. You're just looking more ridiculous. Yeah. So just stop. It is. It's frustrating. And I'm sure for his team and for him, hearing all the stuff that she's been saying and the things that she's been putting out, and now being able to prove, to actually comment to it and to put some facts out there and talk about it has got to feel so good. But it's hard when you have to wait this long legally when, they're like trying to put things together, because you don't want something to sit out there unchallenged.
Oh, it drives you crazy
when it's wrong.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I feel bad for him, but I'm really glad that this is happening for them. But I'm really glad that we have Danielle in there, because she's read the text messages, she's seen all the stuff. She's
like 100%. Google.
Yeah, she is. She's better than Google.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
better than Google. I love that. All right, so I got a couple of stories for you. One of them, I got to grab this one because I saw this and I'm just like, just stop. And I thought you'd appreciate it. There's a story that just came out a couple days ago about a sarcophagus. Okay, so we're at Notre Dame Cathedral, just so you know where we're at to begin
Okay.
with in Paris. The bowels of the Paris Notre Dame Cathedral. Because remember, it was devastated by fire.
What's it called? What?
A sarcophagus is kind of like a
Is that a
coffin.
monster?
A coffin.
Okay.
You know, when they bury a body in a sarcophagus, it's like in Egypt.
Oh, okay,
Does
gotcha.
that ring a bell?
Yeah, I guess I call them tombs, but you guys can call them
Or
whatever.
that
You guys
on the
be fancy
country.
with your words.
Depends on the country.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, it's not a monster.
Okay.
The giant sarcophagus was chasing me.
Ah!
It kind of is. It kind of is. Anyway, I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights on this.
Okay.
But they said the announcement came, and this was published about a week ago, 10 days ago. And they said the announcement came just after or just before the 3rd anniversary of the fire that destroyed Notre Dame, and which was from the 12th century.
Mhm.
And it led to this massive reconstruction project. So while they were doing that, they were working on rebuilding different areas, and they found this sarcophagus that was buried underground. And I'm thinking it was like 65 feet below total, but 3 feet underground because they were down in the bowels of this place. And they were working on the pipes of their heating system. And anyway, they think this is from the 14th century.
Jeez.
So the cathedral was built in the 12th century. This was probably buried 200 years after that. They've peeked into it using like an endoscopic camera,
Mhm.
that little thing, and just to peek in and see. And they can see part of a skeleton. They can see leaves, fabric, and some other things they can't quite make out yet. Anyway, and it's also, might I just add, it's made of lead. Okay.
The sarcophagus is made of lead? Okay.
Yes. And they're the forensic experts and the scientists, they want to open this up so they can study the contents, identify the gender, the state of health. One archaeologist said that they'll be able to carbon date it to get a little more specific. And they believe that it is from the Middle Ages, and it'll be extremely rare. They've never seen a burial practice like this. Okay.
I know
Some people are saying, well, it must be somebody who's really famous and because they were buried at Notre Dame. I'm thinking possibly leave it alone. They buried it under a church, a massive church, in lead, unmarked.
Oh, you run as fast as you can. Don't stick your little wiggly cameras in there looking around. Leave it alone.
Right?
Yes.
So anyway,
I'm with you. Leave it alone. Not enough sage in the world.
No, this is right. This is like the thing that movies are made of.
Yeah.
Unless that's what this is all about. And they're just trying to,
I don't know, but it's fascinating, but terrifying at the same time.
To think if it was that, to me, they would bury it like that in the 14th century. We're going to put it in the most holy place we can put it to protect us. Put it in lead so it can't get out and bury it. Leave it alone.
All seems up and up to me. I say start digging.
So from the 14th century to now, everybody's been safe.
Oh my God. Maybe a little dramatic, but still, I would I leave it. Maybe I still leave it alone. God.
I'd still leave it alone.
You've seen too many Brendan Fraser movies.
I don't care. That's my go-to. But I'm sorry, there's always a little bit of truth. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you. I get you. I'd leave it alone.
Okay. And I've got one more for you. For those not watching, you need to watch this. There's a TikTok, and I know we don't do TikToks on Mondays, but I had to grab this one. This came out this weekend because almost 2 years ago to the day, there was a story though that came out this weekend, and somebody, I think this is the first time they've seen it, first time I've seen it, but it said that she was talking about it as if it was going on right now, and it has been 5 days that this woman has been dealing with this entity. She claims she's had this paranormal experience. I would love to have Andy look at this too. A full sunny daylight from the window of her home. She lives across the street from a church, which she explains in the video. Off to the right of the church, she can see, and you will be able to see it, a figure that's pacing back and forth. Just pacing back and forth. And not sure what they're doing. And she has gone over to investigate, but by the time she gets there, is like it disappears. And it's gone. So take a look.
Okay, Okay, so everybody that's been kind of curious, this is the church that's directly across the street from my house that I was explaining. This is the area where we see that figure. It just walks back and forth every day, all day. Now, I've been over there a couple of times. As I walk up on it, there's just nothing there. Yesterday was Easter. I went over there, but 2 big dogs that were off leash came out, and it was time to go. Then we had the storm, so as soon as we're done with our schoolwork, I will record myself going across the street and show you that as you walk over, you no longer see what appears to be a person pacing back and forth for just hours and hours and days. I think today's like day 5. So
Over 8 million views. Over 8 million views on this video. And there's several videos. So if you get a chance to go check her out on TikTok.
That gave me like almost a stomachache. That was crazy.
She is, hold on here just real quick. Let me grab it real quick. And it's something, whoops, hold on. Let me
I'll put the link in our description.
Bet's an Angel, of course. Bet's an Angel 69. Of course it is, whatever. But that's her name.
That's weird.
But she's got several videos, and then she hasn't posted any since the last one about
her walking over.
And there's a video, and she's going over there, and then you hear a sound, very guttural, like in pain type sound that you'll hear, and then she runs. But then she hasn't posted any more videos since this.
Man. And how long has it been?
2 years. Almost 2 years exactly.
Oh, well, that's terrifying then.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's better than the stupid one I brought with the running rabbit on Friday.
And I'm sorry, Christine, you're right. Notre Dame. Because I said Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oh.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling fancy when I said it the first time.
Yeah, but you said sarcophagus, but you said Notre Dame wrong.
Notre Dame.
Whatever. Yeah.
Notre Dame. So anyway.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was out. And just if you guys are just listening to this, click in the link in our description and see that TikTok and blow your mind. Nutty.
Crazy.
Ooh,
so there you go. So that kind of a special Facebook Monday.
Ooh, super fun. All right. Thank you guys for joining us live. And if you're listening to the audio, make sure you do Fridays and Mondays. It's Pat and JT at It's Pat and JT, Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. Thanks for listening.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Huda Media Production.